inside the one back by Robinho from Pirlo. Still Robinho!
Imagine a young boy growing up on the streets of Brazil, kicking a worn-out ball between narrow alleys and dusty fields. Like millions of children in Brazil, he dreamed of becoming a footballer. But unlike most of them, this boy possessed something extraordinary, a magical connection with the ball that made defenders look helpless. His name was Robinho.
Robinho, whose full name is Robson de Souza, was born on January 25, 1984, in São Vicente, Brazil. From the moment he could walk, football became a part of his life. In Brazil, football is more than a sport. It is culture, identity, and for many children from humble backgrounds, it is a path toward a better life. Robinho grew up in a modest neighborhood where opportunities were limited, but dreams were limitless. On the streets, surrounded by friends and older kids, he began developing the skills that would later define his career. His dribbling was fast and unpredictable. His footwork was playful and creative. He didn't just play football, he entertained with it. As he grew older, his talent became impossible to ignore. Local coaches began noticing the young boy, who could glide past defenders as if they weren't even there. Before long, he was invited to join the youth academy of Santos Football Club. Santos was not just any club, it was a legendary institution in Brazilian football. Decades earlier, it had been the home of one of the greatest footballers of all time, Pelé. The expectations at Santos were always high, especially for attacking players, but Robinho embraced that challenge. At the academy, Robinho continued to develop his skills. His style of play was pure Brazilian football, full of flair, creativity, and fearless attacking instincts. Coaches often noticed how effortlessly he could beat defenders one-on-one. For him, dribbling past an opponent was not just a tactic, it was an art form. By the early 2000s, Robinho was ready to step into the professional stage. Santos promoted him to the first team while he was still very young. Yet, despite his age, he quickly became one of the most exciting players in Brazilian football. Fans were captivated by the way he played. His step-overs were lightning fast. His acceleration was explosive. Defenders struggled to predict what he would do next. Sometimes he would dance around them with a series of tricks. Other times, he would burst forward with incredible speed. The year 2002 became a turning point in Robinho's career. Santos was competing for the Brazilian League title, and Robinho was at the center of the team's attacking play. In one unforgettable match, he produced a moment of brilliance that would become one of the most talked about dribbling sequences in Brazilian football. In that moment, Robinho faced a defender inside the penalty area. Instead of simply shooting or passing, he began performing a series of step-overs again and again, confusing the defender completely. The defender eventually lost his balance and committed a foul, resulting in a penalty for Santos. The crowd erupted. That moment captured everything that made Robinho special. He wasn't just effective, he was spectacular. Santos went on to win the Brazilian League title that year. Robinho quickly became the face of the team and one of the brightest young stars in South American football. 2 years later, Santos would win the league again in 2004, with Robinho playing a crucial role once more. His performances attracted attention from clubs all over Europe. Scouts from the biggest teams in the world traveled to Brazil to watch him play. It was only a matter of time before a European giant made their move. In 2005, Real Madrid signed Robinho. At the time, Real Madrid was famous for its Galacticos project, bringing together the biggest stars in world football into one team. Players like Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo Nazario, David Beckham, and Luis Figo had all worn the famous white jersey. Joining a club of that magnitude was both an honor and a massive challenge. When Robinho arrived in Spain, many fans were curious: would his playful Brazilian style work in the tactical environment of European football? Could he handle the pressure of playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world? It didn't take long for Robinho to show that he belonged on that stage. Wearing the iconic number 10 shirt, he began dazzling fans with his dribbling skills and creativity. Every time he received the ball, The crowd expected something magical. One of Robinho's best seasons with Real Madrid came during the 2007 to 2008 campaign. That year, he was in outstanding form. He scored important goals and created numerous chances for his teammates. His confidence on the ball was undeniable. Real Madrid went on to win the La Liga title that season, and Robinho played a key role in their success. But football careers rarely follow a perfectly smooth path. Despite his talent and moments of brilliance, Robinho's time at Real Madrid was sometimes inconsistent. The pressure at the club was immense, and competition for places in the squad was fierce. Then in 2008, something unexpected happened. Robinho left Real Madrid and joined Manchester City in England. At the time, Manchester City had just been taken over by wealthy investors and were beginning a new era of ambition. Robinho became the club's first major superstar signing in this new project. His transfer sent shockwaves across the football world. In the Premier League, Robinho started brightly. In his debut match against Chelsea, he scored a beautiful free kick that immediately captured the attention of English fans. For a while, it seemed like Robinho might become the face of Manchester City's transformation. However, the Premier League presented unique challenges. The league was known for its physical intensity and relentless pace. Week after week, Robinho faced strong defenders and demanding conditions. Although he produced moments of brilliance, consistency remained a challenge. Eventually, after a few seasons, his journey in England came to an end. Robinho returned to Santos on loan, going back to the club where everything had begun. For the fans in Brazil, it was an emotional reunion. Playing again in familiar surroundings allowed Robinho to rediscover his joy for the game, and during this period, he shared the pitch with a rising young star who would later become one of the biggest names in football. Neymar. The partnership between Robinho and Neymar was exciting to watch. Robinho brought experience and creativity, while Neymar added youthful energy and incredible flair. Together, they produced moments of football magic that thrilled Brazilian fans. Later, Robinho returned to Europe once more, this time joining AC Milan in Italy. AC Milan, he adapted his game. He was no longer just the flashy young dribbler from Santos. He had matured as a player and developed a more tactical understanding of the game. Playing alongside stars like Zlatan Ibrahimović and Alexandre Pato, Robinho became an important part of Milan's attacking lineup. During the 2010-2011 season, AC Milan won the Serie A title. Robinho contributed with important goals and performances throughout the campaign. Although he wasn't always the headline star, his role in the team's success was significant. On the international stage, Robinho also represented Brazil for many years. He was part of a talented generation that included players like Kaká, Ronaldinho, and Adriano. One of his biggest achievements with the national team came in 2007, when Brazil won the Copa América. Robinho was one of the standout players of the tournament and finished as the top scorer. His performances helped Brazil lift the trophy and reinforced his reputation as one of the most skillful attackers of his generation. Looking back at Robinho's career, many fans and analysts believe that his natural talent was extraordinary. At his best, he was capable of producing moments that left defenders embarrassed and crowds amazed. His dribbling style captured the essence of Brazilian football: joyful, creative, and fearless. Of course, football history is full of players whose careers were shaped by many different factors beyond pure talent. Consistency, decisions, opportunities, and circumstances all play a role in how a career unfolds. But regardless of the ups and downs, Robinho remains one of the most entertaining footballers of his era. He was the kind of player who could change the atmosphere of a stadium with a single touch of the ball. A player who reminded fans that football is not just about winning, it is also about beauty, creativity, and imagination. From the streets of São Vicente to the grand stadiums of Europe, Robinho's journey reflects the dreams of countless Brazilian children who grow up chasing a ball and hoping for a better future. His story is a reminder that football is more than a game. It is a story of passion, talent, and the magic that happens when a player truly expresses himself on the pitch. And for many fans around the world, Robinho will always be remembered as the player who made football feel like art.